There's going to be something coming out hopefully in a few days, and hopefully some of you guys start getting it in your inbox, which is an assessment. Charles, why don't you share a little bit more about what the assessment actually consists of and how can project managers benefit from taking it?
Yeah, this is, oh man, this is the culmination of what, months, years. I mean, if you really factor in the amount of intellectual property and intelligence that went into designing that, and I would take it a step further even and call it a diagnostic. So when I work with PMs, in my career, like in my career as a program manager, as a director of a PMO, as a mentor to project managers, one of the first things I do is, and you would expect this, is a skills assessment, right? Like, well, hey, what are you good at? And I'm a big positive reinforcement guy. I'm a big strength finders guy. So my diagnostic has never, ever been about, well, here's where you're weak. So this is your development plan to develop that. I've never seen the logic behind that, right? So my logic has always been, here's your strengths. Ooh, cool. Let's give you roles, responsibilities, jobs that enhance those, that leverage those strengths. Okay. One of the ways that I was able to escape the execution trap for myself was to recognize, hey, I do this better than anyone else. And I can do this like at pace. Where other people
Mm-hmm.
have to work really hard to do this thing, I do this with ease. Let me leverage the crap out of that. So this diagnostic is kind of the backside of that, which is, hey, Charles, I'm not super thrilled with the way my career is going. I really thought that a PMP or a career in project management would just naturally lead to these leadership positions and these strategic positions, and it's just not happening. So along with that initial diagnostic with any project manager in my group, okay, let's figure out your strengths and stuff like that. There's also okay, pay attention to these things because these are the things these are the things that can limit you and how. If you only do this, then this is, a very high likelihood of what your career is going to look like. You're going to end up here. So what changes do you make early on that can kind of just, move things a half a degree now that end up being 20, 30, 50 degrees later on kind of thing? And so it's really great to do, especially when someone first earns their PMP. Why did you do this? Where are you going with your career? So this diagnostic is built in years and years, hundreds and hundreds of these diagnostics and skills assessments of other project managers to help them predict and help them be intentional about their future. So the way that we've designed the diagnostic now, though, is okay, maybe you're not at the beginning of your career. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have that insight. Oh, crap. Now I'm over here and I can't get there. Like no matter what I do, I keep doing more and more work, but it's not changing my trajectory. Yes. Now it becomes an intervention. So this diagnostic is based on decades of my experience in this industry. And what it does is gives the participant the opportunity to say, okay, this is what my world looks like. This is what my day-to-day looks like. And then using my experience, we've created an agent, right, that takes all my experience and assesses those answers, individual answers, and says, okay, based on my experience, it's one of these 6 problems. It's one of these 7 problems. This is basically what's happening in your and maybe we'll have a different video that talks about what those are because the personalization of this is what's really, really powerful because maybe it's a communication thing. Maybe it's a positioning thing. Maybe it's a little bit of imposter syndrome. Maybe it's just the organization you work with is horrible and they want to hold you down. So this diagnostic helps you understand what it is actually, what is the obstacle, because for executors, that the trap of being in execution is we have one tool. We think we have one tool, and that tool is execute more. What's the problem? Okay, I will out execute it. I will work harder. I will do more. I will figure out a way. I will take it on. I will work my way through this. Not every door can be pushed open, right? Some of them need to be pulled open, which means that the reason that we call this the execution trap is because you think more execution is going to break you out of the trap, when in actually more execution just tightens the ropes, because it makes you more and more and more invaluable in your position. So this diagnostic is, okay, if that's the case, Charles, what are my specific conditions? And,
Mm-hmm.
When I do that one-on-one, it's extremely laborious. And I do that with individuals who are in a part of my group, because that's part of what I'm responsible for. I want to share this with everybody. So we spent quite a bit of time, right, downloading my experience and downloading my intelligence about this, and to create this agent, and then to design the assessment such that we get the right inputs so that we can make this. So the diagnostic, it's pretty much instantaneous. Fill out your assessment intake form. The agent runs against that using my knowledge, and then it gives you, hey, this is what we feel is 99% accurate to what your situation is. And so, your recommended course of action is focus on this obstacle, not this obstacle. Don't push against this, pull against this.
So, full disclosure, I've taken the assessment a couple times because I did help Charles put it together. And I know that people are going to find it 100% super valuable and insightful. But my question to you, Charles, is, okay, once I've powered through the assessment and I've received the diagnostic, then what? What comes after that?
Yeah, well, we started with GI Joe, right? Knowing is half the battle. So, excuse me, awareness is the first part of it. And what happened to me was I was so hardcore nose down into execution that it never occurred to me that the execution might actually be the obstacle. And I know that it's counterintuitive. How can hard work hold my career back? How can being amazing at what I do hurt me professionally? What are you talking about? That's insane. That's exactly what I'm paid for. Well, this diagnostic and this assessment, these assessment results kind of showed you, well, yeah, except when hard work does this, except when hard work limits options, right? There's plenty of people who have become known as, oh, that's the person who does this thing. Anytime you have a question about this thing, you go see that person. That feels good. It gives us a sense of pride, but it also makes us indispensable, irreplaceable, which means we are much less likely to be considered for other options, right? So that's just one example. So the assessment and the diagnostic is really about awareness. Like, hey, here, what do you think of this? Like, this is my professional opinion of what's going on. Does that resonate? And if the answer is yes, there's really only two things to do, which is get on a call with me. And I am more than happy, if you've taken the time to take the assessment and read the diagnostic, I will make time to review that with you and give you my best advice on how to proceed. The other option that we've been talking about is a fuller, deeper assessment, right? This is very, very quick. We wanted to keep it nice, right? So the assessment's only 12 or 15 questions, right? This isn't a 60 question assessment. It's meant to be actionable and just really help you in the moment, put a little salve on your burns, right? But a deeper assessment is something that we're talking about. Certainly I have a lot more questions, so we could go deeper with that. We'll look to do that. But I think the most powerful option would be to then just talk it through with me, right?
So, Charles, where can people take the assessment?
Well, we'll provide a link maybe in the description of this video. I'll give a nice little bit.ly, but
yeah, it's going to be somewhere in the notes. If you're watching this on LinkedIn or if you're watching it on YouTube or something, check the description. It's free. It's 100% free. Go to the realcharlesbrowne.com if anything, if you want to reach out to us, if you have any questions. Again, you will get your responses pretty much instantly. So there's no harm in just going in and taking the assessment and evaluating where you're limiting yourself in your career as of today. Charles.
And personally, I'd love the feedback. Right.
And would love the feedback. That's for sure. So
anyways, feedback, because I'm used to doing this one-on-one in a setting where I am getting feedback from the participant. It's an active thing. So this was definitely outside of my comfort zone. I'm an executor. Don't forget, right? I had to learn how to break free from my own execution trap. So I want to make things and fix things and do so. Handing this over to a high leverage tool like this is very uncomfortable for me because
Mm-hmm.
my first choice would be to do every single assessment and every single diagnostic myself, but I can't possibly serve enough people that way. So getting the feedback, set up the call with me and say, hey, I read your thing and it's crap. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I will actually take that feedback, especially if it misses the mark. But I've got 30 years of experience that says it's been pretty dang good. It's been pretty dang
I'll
good
be
so far.
surprised if we get feedback that's that bad, to be honest. But
Yeah.
yeah, just hop on a call with us because we will go over the review with you, and we'll be happy to do so. Anyways,
Awesome.
Charles, I will see you next week. I appreciate you, man.
Excellent. Take care.